Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
No, I just only have on people that I'm actually interested in talking to.
But that's all the people out there, Joe.
Yeah.
In the last 15 years, especially in the last 7, 8 after Maria, you know, I've been very much in every single hurricane and every single big earthquake, big tornado, big...
You go and feed people.
Obviously, I've been in Ukraine. I was there, almost 160, 170 days. In the first year, I was there, 90 days.
In this heartfelt and eye-opening conversation, Joe Rogan speaks with renowned chef and humanitarian José Andrés about the mission and spirit behind World Central Kitchen. Joe begins by reflecting on what makes his podcast work: authentic curiosity. He explains that he only invites people he truly wants to talk to, people whose passion and worldview ignite real interest. That's what draws him to José Andrés, a man who's turned his love for food into a global force for good. Andrés recounts his experiences over the last 15 years, especially the last 7 or 8, during which he has responded to nearly every major crisis, from natural disasters to wars. He shares vivid memories of being in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria.
To help the people of Gaza to feed themselves. There's no way we're gonna be bringing you in there. And I had Palestinian woman that said, we feel for those people. I wish I was given the permission to go there to show them that we don't hate them. But sometimes what you read is only that is hate, people that hate each other. Right. Maybe those are the few. The vast majority of the people are not hateful.
Right.
The vast majority of the people want peace. The vast majority of the people don't want us to be
all over the world.
That's what I see in emergencies, even in the worst moments like war zones. I remember in Ukraine, this older woman in the north, in Kharkiv and in Chernihiv, a woman that didn't speak Ukrainian, speak Russian, and she was like, they are our brothers. Why are they killing us? They are our brothers. Why our Russian brothers are bombing us? When an older person tells you that with that simple sincerity, speaking from the heart, so why are they attacking us?
On the ground in Ukraine within days of the Russian invasion, in Kyiv when the city was still under threat, and among the first NGOs to enter devastated towns like Bucha and Irpin. There, World Central Kitchen scaled up rapidly, serving up to 500,000 meals a day. What makes their model unique? He explains.
Trench warfare scarred the continent of Europe a century ago and more before Russia invaded Ukraine. It was terrifying in the First World War, and so it is again in Ukraine.
Is that they don't rely on building new facilities. Instead, they channel donations into local restaurants and food providers, strengthening economies while feeding people in need. The same dollar that feeds a displaced person can also keep a local cook employed. Andrés emphasizes that during crises, everyone wants to help, and what World Central Kitchen does is create the structure and speed to let them do that. He describes using helicopters in the Bahamas, food trucks in California wildfires, and even baking bread in Gaza until they ran out of flour, each method tailored to the needs and logistics of the moment. His organization doesn't plan, it adapts. You can't email a plate of food, he says, insisting that real emergency response requires being physically present. He discusses the neutrality and humanity that guide their work, citing how they served both Israelis and Palestinians in the wake of violent conflict, not to make a political statement, but because people on both sides were hungry. He defends this dual presence fiercely, insisting that no one should be punished for the acts of a few, and that food must never be weaponized.
And I do believe that that's the vast majority of the people, Joe.
I think you're right.
We need to make sure that that is also what our leaders do. To bring the best angels in all of us, not to bring our worst demons. We need to be asking our leadership, putting aside parties, political parties, to bring the best in all of us. Bring us together, build longer tables. Don't break us apart. Don't break us apart.
Here. Let's wrap it up with that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you very much. You're a beautiful person.
Ultimately, Andrés advocates for longer tables, not higher walls, a world where compassion overrides division. Joe listens with admiration, highlighting the inspiration behind Andrés's work, and together they underscore the core message. World Central Kitchen is not just about feeding people, it's about standing with them, showing up in the darkest hours, and proving that when disaster strikes, humanity can rise.